What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and what you are witnessing right now is live in the Senate as Congress has hit the ground running to tackle those top priority agenda items, voting rights and Build Back Better. And this is your stimulus check update and Build Back Better update. Now, you guys, this is all unfolding right now because, as I mentioned to you in my previous video, take a look. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has started the debates on voting legislation. It's happening right now, even though we had heard reports that it's doomed. He said we're still moving forward. And he says right now, the eyes of the nation are on the Senate. Now, we're going to be seeing what unfolds with that, you guys, and I've got some video footage you're not going to want to miss. Just came out today from Senator Elizabeth Warren. She's going to be discussing voting legislation. Also, Build Back Better. We have received confirmation from her that they are discussing tearing this bill apart and passing through whatever it is that they can to get Senator Joe Manchin on board to pass it through with reconciliation. So this is looking like it's going to get pulled apart into pieces. They're going to break stimulus. Now, also, you guys, wanted to share with you some breaking news that came out today. Take a look at this. A fourth vaccine still doesn't stop Omicron. New Israeli study shows. And what we're hearing is this mutation, Omicron. It can evade vaccines, which is probably the reason why so many people are getting sick right now. Take a look at this, you guys. 712,000 new cases yesterday with a 7-day moving average at 703,000 per day. So, man, this is spreading like wildfire. And they're saying the vaccines in their current state are not stopping Omicron. So we're going to be seeing what unfolds. I'm going to share with you this video footage. It's got a lot of good content on the way forward. They also discuss what Democrats are planning to do to pass something to stay in control as midterm elections are right around the corner, you guys. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Also, wanted to say thank you for all the support on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. If you're interested in learning about growing wealth, personal finance, consider joining. I will pin a comment down below. Click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. New video coming out this week. But you guys, let's get you caught up on this video footage and the way forward in Congress with stimulus and voting. And let's go ahead and start off by smashing the like button. Just takes a second, really helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions that you want me to answer, shoot them to me in the DM and Instagram at SteveRam3. Best way to get a hold of me by far, and I go through all my DMs. I'll do my best to get you any answers to any questions. Give me a little time because I get a lot of DMs, but I will try to help you out, you guys. And use caution here on YouTube. I got to mention this again because there's scammers that try to pose as me in the comments. They screenshot my picture. They claim they're Steve Ram and they say, contact me on WhatsApp. Send me money. Give me your personal information. You guys, that is not me, okay? I'm just here to get you caught up on the latest. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do that. Let's dive into this video footage and let you know what was said today by Senator Elizabeth Warren with everything going on in Congress.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is here to talk about the battle in the Senate over voting rights legislation. It's set to resume today. Her fellow Democrats, that would be Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, oppose a change in Senate rules that would let this measure pass with just 51 votes instead of 60. Without that change, the bill is not going to get anywhere in an evenly split Senate. It is just the latest setback for President Biden's agenda as he approaches 1 year in office with just a 44% approval rating in the latest CBS poll. So, Senator Warren, good morning to you.
Thank you.
Do we have that right? This voting rights legislation, which is going to be debated today, it is effectively dead. In fact, it is dead without your Democratic colleagues coming to the table.
Look, I am not declaring this bill dead because we can't. It is absolutely too important. Understand it this way. Voting is foundational. That is the whole premise of our democracy. And before we get to the procedural part, keep this in mind, that state legislatures all around the country that are controlled by Republicans are doing everything they can to keep people from voting. Who are they trying to keep from voting? Black people, brown people, college students, people who live on tribal reservations, trying to keep those folks from voting because they might vote Democratic. Every single senator who is a Republican in the United States Senate has said they're not going to do anything. They're letting the states do whatever they want.
But you would not need them if Senator Sinema of Arizona and Manchin agreed to a rule change that allowed Democrats to vote on a simple majority. Senator Sinema says she's not doing it because it would deepen partisanship in this country. She calls it a disease. Does she have a point?
Look, We have partisanship in this country, and that's true. And there's a lot of fighting, and I get it. We fight over childcare. I believe we ought to have universal childcare. I understand. There are Republicans who say, no, we should not invest federal dollars in that. I get that fight. But this is about our democracy. That's the whole premise of how we have a government, is consent of the governed. And that means that every American citizen has right to vote and a right to get that vote counted. Here's the thing. All 50 Democrats, all 50, have agreed to the voting rights protection bill. We're just hung on this procedure that effectively gives Mitch McConnell a veto. And, you know, the thing about that procedure is it's keeping us from doing a lot of things Americans want that are popular across this country. They want to see us do immigration reform. They want to see us do Roe versus Wade.
But after a while, Senator, people don't even hear you now. It just seems like a lot of screaming and hollering and nah, 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 nah. I mean, Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin are also making it difficult for the Build Back Better plan.
Yep.
So how do you move past this roadblock? I know you all are very optimistic and say you can't give up hope. But after a while, when does reality set in and say we need to go in a different direction?
Okay, so look, let's do a little reality. Okay. Where were we a year ago today? We were still mopping up blood and sweeping up glass in the United States Capitol. We had an armed insurrection. Remember, people couldn't even get in line to try to get vaccines. We have now dealt with that. Vaccines are available everywhere. Boosters are available everywhere. By the way, get your vaccine and booster if you haven't. They work. But we also passed a rescue package. It's why schools are open. It's why our economy that everyone predicted was going to take a nosedive didn't. In fact, in President Biden's first year, more new jobs have been created than any president in history. So we've gotten our act together to do some things.
That's not the headline. That's not the headline. But can we go back to the Build Back Better bill for just a second? Would it be better to break it up at this point so that you get something accomplished?
Look, I don't want to negotiate against myself here because, of course, we love all the parts to it. But we need to get something accomplished.
Yes.
And we need to get everybody on absolutely the child tax
credit. You peel that off?
And universal child care. We need to get those accomplished. We need to get those through.
Right, but peel them off to pass them individually so they can get through.
That's right. But remember, we're back to the filibuster problem.
But you're open to breaking it up, though.
I'm open to whatever's going to get us across the finish line, knowing we're not going to get one single Republican to lower the price of prescription drugs, not one to give us universal child care, not one who's going to say that these corporations that make billions in profits are going to not get away any longer with paying zero in taxes. We've got all those in Build Back Better. We just need to get what we can across the finish line.
In 2024, should Manchin and Sinema be primary?
We'll address that when we get past this week.
Okay, let me ask you about 2024. Do you believe that President Biden is up for the job?
President Biden's running for re-election. I expect to support him.
His approval ratings are some of the lowest that they've been for a very long time.
I understand that, but remember, we've just finished the first quarter. We're just starting into the second quarter here. So we've got a lot of time, a lot of work in front of us.
Oh, but you only have probably less than a year before you lose both the Senate and the House. All the polls, polls are very bad, right? I mean, the Gallup had a poll recently that showed a preference nationally for Republicans at a 5-point margin over Democrats. You started the year with the insurrection and a 9-point advantage.
No, I know.
In the fourth quarter, it was a 5-point advantage to the Republicans. So something's not right here. Something that you think it could change the game for President Biden is, with a stroke of a pen, he could cancel student loan debt federally.
Yes.
Why do you think that would make such a difference?
Because it would affect about 43 million Americans. And keep in mind, for the people who are dealing with student loan debt, about 40% of them do not have college diplomas. These are people who did what we want them to do as Americans. They tried, but they had babies, they were working 3 jobs, they moved, and they didn't make it. So now they're dealing with student loan debt on what a high school grad makes. Also, think about the racial implications of what we're talking about. We talk about the racial wealth gap in America. It's alive and well right in the heart of the student loan debt problem. African Americans borrow more money to go to school, borrow more money while they're in school, have a harder time paying when they get out. The single thing that President Biden could do all by himself to help close the black-white wealth gap for people with student loan debt, he could close it by 27 points. Cancel $50,000 in student loan debt. Same thing for Latinos. This would be a huge difference.
But in so many words, he has said that this is bigger than him. And you're saying that he does have the power.
He has the power. Be big.
So why doesn't this stuff get done? I mean, if you look at the polling, the individual ideas from the Democratic Party, your party, are very popular.
Yeah.
But then you look at Democrats, and often they are not popular. So what's going on here?
Look, part of it is we have a lot of ideas. And we're out there fighting for different pieces of this. Why is Build Back Better so big? It's because basically the train leaves the station only one time a year using reconciliation, where you can get a vote of 50. You can't put things like voting rights on it, but you can put all the economic package together.
But right now the train's not leaving the station at all.
And you are right on that point. So we're going to have to rearrange, in effect, what goes on the train. But let me say this. Offer just a little bit of sympathy for the fact that what we're trying to do is we're trying to fight for everybody. We're trying to fight for our babies. We're trying to fight for our seniors. We're trying to fight for people with diabetes.
Yeah.
We're trying to fight for people who need a government on their side. And yeah, we may have tried to load too much onto this train, but by God, I'd rather have people who are trying to fight for the American people out there trying to do it, instead of everybody hanging back and just saying, I tell you what, let's cut deals in the back room and make this thing move smoothly.
Senator Warren, thank you so much for fielding our questions, and thank you for the passion. Thank you for continuing to fight.
Well, there you have it, you guys. Wow, they covered a lot of content on there, a lot of good footage. We're going to be seeing what unfolds here, but you heard her cover Build Back Better, voting rights, the path forward, controlling Congress so that way Democrats can stay in a position of power to pass through reconciliation. But as they mentioned, the way things are going right now, Biden's approval rating is very low, and Republicans, very likely in the midterms, if things don't change, are going to be taking control and power back in Congress. So we'll be seeing you guys, and I will keep you up to date. And as I mentioned, right now, the Senate is in session discussing voting rights legislation, and we're going to be seeing what's going to be happening with Build Back Better being broken. I will keep you up to date on stimulus reconciliation breaking, you guys. Also, more video footage is going to be coming out on state and city stimulus checks. I'll keep you up to date. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out my channel a ton. Also, consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to stay up to date on growing wealth, personal finance. I'll pin a comment down below if you want to stay up to date on economic news. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell here on this channel, and if you get any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.